Explain, we're fishing.
So Dad and I were fishing for steelhead along this river here, one of the local rivers in northern Ontario, and we found check out, show them what you found, Dad. You found this along the shoreline right up here, and this river in northern Ontario is very historic, and there actually used to be a Hudson's Bay trading post up there around the corner up in there. So we don't know if this is anything new or if this is something really old. We got a friend of ours back home where we'll ask him if it's anything maybe from a long time ago. But if anybody knows anything about this, we appreciate your comment on it, because we just found this literally right amongst the rocks right here 5 minutes ago, so we're not even sure what it really is.
Yeah, maybe if anybody knows a little bit more about history than we do and can tell us a bit, we'd be interested to know.
Yeah, let's check that thing out for a second. So, mixing dish of sorts. I can't tell, because there's a lot of history along this part of the river, and yeah, maybe somebody just like threw an old little pot there, but that don't little pot piece there, but that honestly don't make a ton of sense to us, so we weren't sure about it. So if anybody has any information on that, we'd love to hear it in the comments. All right. Okay. Steelhead. There he is, he's out in the river there.
Yeah, so here we are. We're fishing all morning, and finally we got a take, so this is exciting. Oh, he's gonna take a while yet. He's not ready to come in.
A little run there.
Yeah.
There he is, up right in front of me here.
I don't think it's very big. I can't tell.
Alright, so I tried to film the rest of that, but the camera went dead, so I had to switch the battery out. But while I was doing that, I was able to land the fish, and here's what we caught. This is all rainbow trout, or in this time of year we call them steelhead trout, and this is a late November one. And the interesting thing is we caught them in the river here, but in Ontario, and any really on inland rivers along Lake Superior and any of the Great Lakes, steelhead run twice a year. They run in the spring to spawn, and then they come up here in the fall a second time, but they don't even come up here to spawn. They just do it a second time, just a natural instinct born into them. But these guys are, I think they're better to catch in the fall anyways. They taste, in my opinion, much better. But that's what we've been fishing for this morning. Yeah. He's a good size. What do you say he is? 3-4 pounds?
Yeah, he's 4 pounds.
Walking up on trap number 1, and unfortunately there does not appear to be a martin in it, but the box is right there up against that tree there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go up the trap line, and depending on how many martin we have in the trap line today, we'll either, if we have a few, we'll leave the traps in, but if we don't, then this year's just not exactly a great year for martin, and we'll just kind of let them be, let them make more, and then we'll try and come back next year. So we might pull the traps on the way back. Dad and I here walk up on the trap, and it's got a big old martin in it.
Yeah, that's
soaked. But these things, in my opinion, are one of the softest animals out there. They have like one of the best pelts of any trapped animal. And they've always got, one thing about them, seriously, they've always got that little orange on their, right there, right below their chin, right where their neck is. But these are one of the most, as well, they're one of the most efficient predators ever designed. They're so compact, and they run around these trees like nothing. And all they do is hunt squirrels, mice, rough grouse, just about anything. So that's going to get the trap setters, get this out. But how this works is, how these traps work, I'll explain it here. So this is what we call a marten box, and we get the trap set. We often put a piece of meat back there, a piece of old beaver meat. And we nail the trap up to the tree here. And we'll set the trap and we'll slide it where this part here is in line with this. We'll often throw a little bit of spruce and cedar needles around it just to cover it up. So the marten, he smells the old beaver meat and he'll run up here, but just to make it a little more convincing for him, we often put these little, we call them running poles, right up to the corner of the trap just to make it a little easier for him. So he's getting it, so he's more enticed to get at the bait. So he'll run up the trap and we'll go for the bait. And one of two things will happen. Either A, the trap will catch him like this guy here, or B, the trap will get sprung, and then it's effectively useless for catching him. And he'll slide under the trap and he'll grab the bait and he'll pull out and leave. I was coming in here to check the trap, and hiding out in the bottom of this tree there's a little weasel. A little ermine. Oh, there he goes. See if I can... See him in there? He's like white as snow. There he is. Alright, we got the trap reset. It's on safety right now. We got the marten out of the trap. Now, these guys, we like to catch a few of them a year because marten are a very useful fur. And they, this guy actually alone costs, they'll pay $50, $60 for one of these. Now, but then again, the price fluctuates quite a lot. So they could be worth more than that, sometimes they're worth less than that. Depends on what the market says. But we often run our trap line. We have 16 boxes, but in the last couple of years we've had the marten population has been a little more scarce. So this is today we're just debating on whether we should pull our traps, which we might, because the one thing about trapping is that it's up to the trapper to know his own limits and when to pull the traps and let the animals just let the animals play out the rest of the winter and just kind of stop trap more, especially when there's not as many. This year has been a bit of a lower year because sometimes you can catch anywhere between, catch more than a dozen marten on a single trapping run. And other times you can catch as low as one because they go in cycles along with a lot of their prey animals like squirrels and mice. Everything goes in cycles. So if the mice are down, then the marten are down. Now, the marten population, this is about towards the lower end, so thankfully we're hoping that for the next couple of years it's just all the way up from here. But one thing we're gonna we're just using today to figure out whether we will continue trapping after today or if we're just gonna pull the traps. All right, we got a second marten in the trap. And here's Dad. This is how you reset the trap here. These trap setters, and you pull these two pins close together, and you latch the safety on.
Yeah.
That way.
So as you can see here, the bait also got into the trap. So I'll have to get that out.
Yeah. There we go.
There we are.
This guy's a lot more red color. You'll find them in all colors. Some of them you'll find they're even black. Here's the teeth that he's got on him. That's what he uses for.
Yeah, generally a little bit darker sometimes fetches
more money
because they're better price too. So.
They're a lot more uncommon. You'll often find these martens in this color, more of a brown, but they have a large mix of colors. And oftentimes, like I said, they'll be like black, like the bottom of his tail here. One thing about trapping, it's a bit of an unfortunate side, is that we always have, and it's every trapper has this every year, it's called an accidental catch, where you catch something that you're not supposed to or not part of your line, and you just have to file a report with the ministry when that happens. But you can catch stuff like, we have a martin line and we can catch weasels, we catch squirrels, we've caught fishers, you know. But this is beyond different. I've never seen this. Have you seen something like this, Dad?
This is the first time I've seen this for sure.
We caught a raven. Poor bastard.
Yeah, this is pretty unfortunate. But I mean, stuff like this does happen from time to time. So.
Holy damn! I've never seen that before.
Yep.
Flew from there. Jeez. That is different.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's a shame though.
Not every day that happens.
I think they're such a cool bird too. Really. I always feel kind of bad when you see a raven get hit or something. I think they're always a real interesting bird, you know, and they're extremely, for those of you who don't know, they're extremely intelligent animals. They actually are able to recognize different faces different people just by looking at their faces. Well, that's entirely different. Damn. Alright, just gonna set the trap up now. We just finished up with the trap line, and we're about to head back, but I figured I'd show you guys something here. This thing's been here for longer than I can remember, Dad can remember. But somebody came down here a long time ago, decades ago, and painted a moose on the side of this rock here. Little cow moose. It's about the same size as a cow moose or a big calf. About, I don't know, up here's about 6 feet somewhere. Because I'm 5'8", so I guess up here probably. But yeah, we got a picture of that. Kind of back up a little bit. But yeah, that's really awesome. That's been there forever. But I love coming up here trapping. If I could only film, like if I was only given the choice to film one, trapping, hunting, or fishing, I'd pick the trapping video. So I always love coming up here. We're gonna, just because of the couple martin we caught, we figured we'd leave the trapping line out for one more time. We'll be up here in 2 days just to check it for a last time, and then we'll pull them. But that's just how trapping is a lot of times. Sometimes martin populations go way up, sometimes they go down. So, and it's just like I said, it's up to mainly the trapper himself to figure out when it's time to pull. So all the traps out and let the animals just do their thing and wait for the population to go back up. Because every animal, especially small animals, they often have their ups and downs. So we're just kind of gonna let the martins, we're gonna leave traps in for one more day, and it would be on Sunday. We're gonna come back in, we're gonna pull them all out, and we're gonna check them one last time just to make sure. But even then, martin trapping, like even like on low years, it's still always just really fun to come out here. But sometimes like you'll catch even a dozen of them on the few traps that we have, and it's just like it can be really rewarding. But even just like I said, driving up these roads, martin trapping and bird hunting, it's always rewarding. And I always like coming by to see that thing. That's always really cool to check out. It's still there. It doesn't wear off that rock. It's probably been there for more than 20 years now. All right. Now just to show you all how productive a single day in northern Ontario can be, we got the steelhead trout here, we got the 2 martins, and this morning we shot 9 rough grouse. Some big too. That tail feathers here. We got 9 of these. I didn't film them earlier this morning because I didn't have my camera with me at the time. But that's just one morning and afternoon in northern Ontario. Now I've got a lot of work cleaning all these guys, and then I gotta get the skin in him and start cleaning the fish too. But just figured I'd show you all just one day up here for our weekend. And we got the traps out. We're gonna come back up here in 2 days, and we decided to leave out the all the martin traps. We're gonna come back up here and try to continue with one more day of trapping. Hopefully I can videotape that too. If I can't, unfortunately, then I think this is where we'll leave off on the trapping journals until we do some late season beaver trapping. All right. Well, see y'all later.